What is going on, everybody? It is Ahmed, and I am back today with yet another video for you all. Apologies for my absence over the last pretty much week. Not too much happening in the market, so honestly, it was just lack of interest of giving updates on basically the same thing, which is continued consolidation across the cryptocurrency market. It is summer. Weather is beautiful, great time to be out with friends and family as the market kind of decides what direction it wants to go. We're expecting an altcoin season. What we need to see that hopefully come true is the final piece, and that is quantitative easing from the Feds. I've been repeating this time and time again. I don't think we have reached anywhere near the top for even Bitcoin, and especially not altcoins, as we still haven't seen a proper altcoin season. And with that, we are going to expect some magnificent movement for Pi, because amongst the top 100 cryptocurrencies, Pi is one of the only ones, because again, the mainnet happened in February of this year. It's one of the only ones that has not really felt the 2024 run-up back in November that we saw once Donald Trump was elected as president and chosen by the Electoral College. So let's go ahead and dive in and talk about one of these articles that I actually read about Pi going from 65 to 68 cents, all the way up to $1,000 over the next 5 years. I'm going to give my take on it and what I think could potentially cause this kind of increase, and we'll see what the analysts are saying about that as well. Now, again, remember, never financial advice, just trying to put you guys on the plays that I'm in. If you're new around here, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. So again, continued consolidation. The overall market is looking decent, honestly, holding up its gains, especially Ethereum. What I'm loving, it's above 2,600 and holding strong, and it's resistant to the weekly downturn that we saw for BTC. We saw for even a little bit XRP, BNB, Solana. And if we scroll down to Pi coin as the 28th biggest cryptocurrency in the market, it's actually down about 10% on the week, 0.15% on the day. Again, basically moving sideways. Nothing too exciting there. We did see this nice run up, of course, initially. It's followed by this significant sell-off that lasted basically week after week after week for many, many weeks, almost a total of 4 weeks there, 5 weeks of a downturn, some consolidation. We started the rebound as the market kind of flipped bullish, and it looked like altcoin season was starting, and then again going back to price suppression, but holding above a higher low than the previous consolidation period of right around 53 to 59 cents. So with that being said, I do believe we have some upside, and we're going to talk about this article that I read over at the Economic Times. So let's go ahead and dive in and talk about that. And it starts here. Let's go ahead and close out of this. I know it always does this ad blocker thing. So from 68 cents to $1,000 over the next 5 years. Come on, give me this chance, please. Thank you. 68 cents to $1,000 in 5 years. Move over Bitcoin. PiCoin may deliver 146,000% returns. For all of us that are contributors of the network and people that have been a part of it for quite some time, we know this is not too far-fetched. So here's the synopsis. Mind you, this was published on June 1st, just this month, 2025. Pi Network's token has experienced a recent price decline, but analysts remain optimistic about its long-term potential. Predictions vary widely, with some forecasts suggesting a surge to $500 to $1,000 by 2030, contingent on factors like exchange listings, open mainnet launch that has already happened, real-world integration, which the team is continuously working on, and despite the risks, Pi Network's unique approach and large user base make it the project to currently watch. PiCoin's token has been on a sharp 4.2% decline in the last 24 hours, and we know since then, basically consolidating. But most importantly, what's happening right now and why are analysts forecasting up to $500 to $1,000 or more by 2030 over the next 5 years? Diverging forecasts from modest to moonshot. Price predictions for PiCoins vary significantly, and these are per analysts that are pretty established in the cryptocurrency industry. There may be second tier, third tier, not really first tier analysts, but the fact is they are shooting for some significant price actions. So Coin Codex predicts Pi from 46 to 67 cents in the short term over the next couple years, gradually rising all the way up to 281 by 2028. I don't think that's one that I would even consider looking at for forecasts. ChatGPT's financial model, or AI, shared by analyst Mr. Spock, projects $1 to $240 in 2025, just this year alone in the next 6 months, depending on adoption and technology rollout, and 106 to 399 by the end of 2030. DeepSeek sees price for Pi from $200 to $500. And remember, when it comes to these DeepSeeks and ChatGPTs, these are AI learning language models. They're able to tap into the entire internet database and make decision making based off of the data that is readily available online. So this is not just one analyst, two analysts, 10 analysts. It's every single person that is discussing and talking about crypto that they're able to compile and create a pool to then make a decision based off these price projections. BitGet offers perhaps the most ambitious projection predicting Picoin. And mind you, BitGet is one of the first centralized exchanges to list the open mainnet launch of Picoin on their exchange, based on integration into DeFi, global payment systems, and fintech partnerships. Dr. Altcoin, a market forecaster, expects to be $314, which would make sense as it is 3.14 within the next 5 years, citing the project's community strength and long-term fundamentals. What could spark Pi's rally? Of course, Binance, Coinbase, we already have OKX, Gemini, and Robinhood listings would be the first to actually ensure retail demand comes in from every single market. West Hemisphere, East Hemisphere, United States, Canada, South America, you name it. Strategic partnerships as Pi's core team, the CEOs, the CFOs, the people that have developed and created this model and this Pi app and the mechanism behind Picoin, they need to go out to real world to strategize and create strategic partnerships with real world companies and businesses. Right now, the majority of B2B that is happening with Picoin are small business owners or even mid-sized business owners, but we need Pi to enter the enterprise business. Once that happens and it becomes adopted at a global level, at an enterprise level, that is going to be the game over signal that's going to push us to hopefully new all-time highs and price discovery thereafter. With 47 million engaged users worldwide, which is massive already, a lot of enterprise businesses like the fact that we have such a big user base. Pi Network is also investing in decentralized app or DApp developments, building a peer-to-peer digital economy. And you guys know with the venture fund that they've created of $100 million that they're investing into Pi's ecosystem and partnerships alike. If these efforts gain momentum, they could significantly enhance the token's utility and investor appeal. Risks and fundamentals, of course, delays. We already know right now everything's been on time for mainnet, but we want to see more catalysts, more aggressive catalysts that are going to hopefully propel us the right direction. We know we've already won Binance's listing requirements, especially the fact that they've created a poll within the Binance team itself, and we have surpassed that poll 10 times over with the amount of votes that came in. But again, the most important thing for me right now is hopefully CEX listings to then create stronger investor confidence, which then pushes us to a new all-time high and entering into price discovery. What I want to see for Picoin is it specifically getting past $3 and then from there seeing $3 becoming the new floor, which then introduces new investors into this project and not having to worry about, hey, if I'm buying here, what if it goes lower? Well, $3 was a previous all-time high, which we know is the number one strongest resistance point for Pi. And once that's surpassed, hopefully by 10, 20, 30, 40, 50%, that's when we enter into full-on price discovery. I appreciate your support as always. That's all I had for you guys today. Check out the links down below. And until next time, as always, keep investing.